everybody, and welcome to Mike Nierychlo Online, sharing my love for people, wine, food, and all things made passionately. Okay, carrying on with Australia. Like I said 2 episodes ago now, if you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. Nigel Dolan, great interview, super cool guy. Shotgun, a couple of whites for you today from Australia. A couple fairly typical varieties you'll often see in Australia. Let's try them out. I'm going to get right into them. First one, the 2008 Yolumba Y Series. Their Y Series, I guess, is their kind of top tier. Viognier, it's their 2008. Now, Viognier, did you have a look at the label? It's really nice packaging on this bottle, actually. 16 bucks. Viognier is not that typical of a grape variety. I'm sure you've heard of it. If you haven't heard of it, it's definitely worth trying. It's one of those grapes that in really good years does really awesome. Really bad years, not so great. Viognier in Australia, typically you'll see them blending it a lot with Shiraz. I know, blending a white wine with a red wine. What's that all about? The Viognier typically comes across with a bit of a floral, violety characteristic when combined with the Shiraz. Tends to just complement the wine. They usually throw like 3 to 5% in with Shiraz, and it just gives it a little extra something something. So we're going to try a single varietal Viognier from Yolumba. Like I said, 2008 Y Series. Viognier is a grape I find really interesting. I enjoy drinking it. Classically, you'll find Viognier from the Rhone Valley in France, is where its kind of native heritage comes from. They make some exceptional Viogniers on there. Good luck getting your hands on them. The area in the Rhone is called Condrieu, by the way. But like I said, tough wine to find. But being planted a lot more around the world. Anyway, get right into this one. Okay, on the nose. This one comes across, it's fairly classic, it's floral. I wonder if this was a slightly cooler year. This is the Yolumba, Yolumba, South Australia. Doesn't often get that cool there. But on those one, it's got that floral characteristic, but it's more kind of almost dandelion, like that bright acidic floral characteristic. A lot of honey on the nose. Yeah, kind of like beeswax. And a bunch of lime and kind of that greenish melon. Yeah, lime and green melon, something along those lines. Okay, on the palate. Like I said, slightly green nose, but give me a second with this one. Actually, I like this wine. Another characteristic of Viognier that's coming through is it has this slight oiliness. This is portraying that. Actually, I don't know if you can see this in the glass, but it's almost got a greenish hue to it as well. I like this wine. It's kind of oily. It's coming across a little bit hot. What do we got here? 14.5%. That's pretty tall for a white wine. Viognier is a pretty hardy grape variety, so it can handle it. But I mean, I'm drinking this room temperature right now. The alcohol is coming through a little bit, but it doesn't turn me off. Pretty decent wine for 16 bucks. I like this one. Again, sorry, kind of that floral characteristic. A lot of like star fruit slash almost grapefruit tartness to it. It's got a hint of, I would venture to say, like green olive juice. If you ever, I'm a martini guy. I enjoy a nice dry martini. It's a little bit dirty, 1 or 2 olives sitting in. It reminds me a lot of that same flavor. Kind of the combination of the vermouth and the olive. Anyway. Definitely an enjoyable wine. And a good classic example of Viognier, but in the more kind of savory, salted characteristic. Viognier can be very bright, very tropical, and very floral as well in a really hot year. Anyway, decent buy. Look for that one. Next one. Chardonnay. Australia, you often see a lot of Chardonnay produced. You see Yellow Dill Chardonnay, you see, oh, everybody's doing Chardonnay. Why his names escape me all of a sudden. Rosemont, Yellowtail, Peter Lehman, all those big guys, you see Chardonnay often in Australia. Like I said, with Australia right now, I'm trying to find you some other labels, so you're not stuck on the same ones. So this is the Coralook Chardonnay 2008. Have a look there. Also pretty neat labeling. The Coralook. This says there, 2008 Strathbogie Ranges Chardonnay. Interesting. I'm just going to read the back of this bottle. It has a bit of a statement to it. But Kirby Family Vineyards was established in 1992 with the sole purpose of producing world-class wines. Over the ensuing years, the vineyards have been carefully and meticulously established in Victoria's premier wine region. So, Victoria, Australia, Chardonnay. Let's see how this one goes. My glass, a hint of a rinse here. Condition it for the next wine. Being all wine snobby on you. Alright. Good color for Chardonnay. Pretty light, actually. Typically, it's not that Napa Valley, that California Chardonnay, that big kind of buttery color. It's definitely light. Also with a hint of greenish hue to it. Interesting. Totally different grape variety. Also a big grape variety, though. Like I said, Viognier, big grape variety, and Chardonnay, big grape variety. Let's get that back in the picture there for you. Okay. On the nose. Interesting. Be curious of the oak program they used on this. I can smell the wood, but it doesn't smell like that typical kind of vanilla oak. Coconut. Actually, you know what? It's got a lot of coconut. Kind of coconutty, almondy, to be honest, which is different for Chardonnay. Interesting. As far as fruit goes, it's almost got like a baked apple pear sort of thing. Yeah. Interesting. Kind of like you'd find in a cobbler. Typically when you find oak and hot fruit in a wine, it gives that cobbler characteristic, and trust me, I love cobbler. I've got some really good family members, mom, aunt, grandmother, they rock at making cobbler. So if you guys watch this, mom, aunt, grandma, keep making cobbler. Alright. Not gonna spit that. Sorry. Two good wines today. Both 16 bucks. This is a nice Chardonnay. I like it. It's not, if you're looking for a big, goopy, buttered popcorn, overpowering, over-oaked California Chardonnay, this is not it. This is a bit more Chablis-like. Chablis, the area in France, outside Burgundy, where they do a lot of Chardonnay. Not quite as bright and minerally and acidic, much more fruit forward, but definitely decent. That hint of kind of coconut almond definitely comes through on the palate. Neat oak program. And again, it's kind of got that baked apple pear sort of thing. I would say maybe a hint of lemon lime in there too, but this is an interesting sipper. It's got a bit of an acidic background, a bit of tartness. Definitely would go well with food. The Viognier would definitely do excellent with food, especially with that oiliness. Core Look Chardonnay. For those of you who don't realize it, if you actually click on the title of the episode above you, it'll bring you into the episode's page. And I've got my written review below it too, which helps me, tends to be easier if you're searching for the wines or whatever, so check that out. And if you want to comment, if you look just below the video, there's a click to comment section. That'll bring you into the main video page as well. I really appreciate your comments too. They keep me going. Alright. Two good wines today. 16 bucks, Australia. A little bit longer than a typical shotgun episode. Both nice wines. I'm impressed with these. I wouldn't say they're like the next best thing, but they're both nice sippers. Great, solid wines. Yeah, nothing wrong with them. Enjoyable. I like them. Thank you so much for watching today. Remember, wine. Depretentiosized.